This class is about 45 minutes long. As you can see, it's taking place outside, and I highly recommend that if you have the option available, then grabbing your yoga mat and going somewhere outdoors. I'm not going to use any music in the background, just the sounds of nature. So you can hear the birds chirping, you can hear the ocean in the distance. So feel free to use your own sounds or your own playlist and make your way into a child's pose. Your knees are wide, your big toes are together to touch, your spine is long, your head, shoulders, neck are relaxed. So I'm going to teach this class assuming that you are outside. If you have to do this class inside, no worries. You can even use your imagination and just pretend that you're outdoors somewhere in your favorite place in nature. Go ahead and bend at your elbows, press your palms together, and take your thumbs to the back of your neck. Should feel an opening happening through the shoulders. And after a few breaths, make your way to all fours. Move through some cat-cow. So as you inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Then as you exhale, round your spine. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, squeeze your core in tight, round your spine. So breathing in that fresh air, go ahead and do this a couple more times, expanding the breath with every arch. And then go ahead and tuck your toes, make your way into a downward facing dog. Hips up towards the sky, heels pressed down towards the ground. Keep your left hand flat, reach your right hand across your body and hook it outside your left leg. So a gentle twist here to start. Waking up and activating your internal organs, set your right hand down, take your left hand across, hooking outside the right ankle, the right calf, the right thigh. Good, really focusing on your exhales here in these twists. And then go ahead and set the hands down. Make your way back to all fours. Untuck your toes and then kick your right leg back behind you. Reach the opposite arm and then squeeze the elbow and knee together. So again, inhale, lengthen, arm and leg reach. Then as you exhale, squeeze your core in tight. Inhale, lengthen and reach. Exhale, squeeze your core in tight. Activate your belly, your power center. And then lengthen, reach, stay here or reach behind you. Catch a hold of your back foot with your back hand. And then go ahead and release out of that. Stay on your left knee, your right leg stays long. Come into a modified side plank. So that right arm reaches up or overhead and feel the entire right side of your body lengthening and opening up. Then return back to all fours. Left leg kicks back, this time right arm reaches. Then go ahead and squeeze knee and elbow together. Add the breath. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you squeeze the knee and elbow together. Again, inhale, lengthen and reach. Exhale, squeeze knee and elbow together. One more time, stay here or bend your back knee, catch a hold of your back foot. Good, keep kicking your foot into your hand. Keep feeling your shoulders and hips open up. And then releasing out of that gently. Make your way onto your right hand and right knee. Left foot stays connected to the mat. And really press into the outside edge of your left foot and feel a stretch all the way from your left ankle all the way to your left fingertips. Breathe into it and then come back to all fours, back to your downward facing dog. Lift your heels high, bend your knees low. Step your feet in between your hands, as many steps as you need to. Then inhale, lengthen to a flat spine. Exhale, forward fold, release. Ragdoll here, feet hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider. Grab a hold, opposite elbow, opposite hand. Your tailbone is up towards the sky. Your head is dropping heavy. So any tension you're carrying through the shoulders, through the neck, let it release out the top of your head. Any gentle movements you need to take here to activate that release, go ahead and take those. Then inhale, lengthen to a flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms overhead. Then hook the hands behind you, interlace the hands at your tailbone. Go ahead and fold forward again into ragdoll here with a little bit more intense of a shoulder release. Of course, you can always take regular ragdoll arms if your shoulders are particularly tight. And drop your right shoulder down, look over your left shoulder, and then switch sides. You drop your left shoulder down, look over your right shoulder. And then releasing out of that, inhale, lengthen halfway, forward fold, release. Press through the heels, rise up to standing, reach your arms overhead. Good, then take your palms together to heart center, trace the midline, forward fold. Inhale, flat spine. Plant your hands down and step your feet back, come into a high plank position, and then bend your elbows coming into chaturanga. Upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. So sun salutation here. We'll move through that a few times. So go ahead and lift your heels high. Bend your knees low. Step or hop your feet in between your hands. Lengthen halfway. Forward fold, release. So same thing here. Same moves. Feel every single move. Press through your heels. Big full body stretch. Touch the sky. Palms together, fold forward, feel the release. Inhale, lengthen, crown of your head pulls forward. Hands go down, stepping your feet back. High plank to low plank, find your chaturanga. Press through the tops of your feet, glide forward, lift your heart up. And then tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths, breathing in that air, and then when you're ready, do this again. Step or hop your feet in between your hands. Lengthen to a flat spine. Forward fold, release. Big full body stretch. Reach the arms up. And then trace the midline, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Squeeze your core in tight. Hands go down. Step your feet back. High plank to low plank. Upward facing dog. Chest opens, heart opens. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Good, entire back side of your body, stretching and lengthening here. Lift your heels, bend your knees, feet come in between your hands. Lengthen halfway, forward fold, release. Again, reach high, big full body stretch. And then release, forward fold. Lengthen halfway. Crown of your head pulls forward, hands go down, step or float your feet back. Find chaturanga into your upward facing dog, into your downward facing dog. And then go ahead and take your feet in between your hands. You can step, you can jump. Inhale, lengthen, flat spine. Exhale, forward fold, release. Full body stretch, reach the arms high. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Step or float your feet. Chaturanga into upward facing dog, into your downward facing dog. Stay here and breathe. Float your right leg up. Bend your right knee and stack your right hip over top of your left hip. Send the breaths and the air, the energy into your right hip. Good, and then from here, start to pull forward. Pull your right knee towards your right tricep. Give it a tap, and then open back to that open three-legged dog. Big inhale. As you exhale, pull forward. This time, right knee comes towards the center of your body. Knee touches the chin. And then again, three-legged dog. Open up your hips. Big range of motion here. Then as you exhale, pull forward. Right knee to your left tricep. Kick your right foot forward. Flatten your back foot. Star pose. So left arm reaches up towards the sky, and you can take it overhead. You can reach it behind you. Just feel every cell of your body opening up right here. And then after a few breaths, make your way into a high plank, right knee into the chest, then set your right foot down. Drop your back foot down for a warrior one shape. So your left toes are at an angle, your right toes are facing forward, your hips are square, and reach the arms up high. As you reach the arms up high, bend a little bit more into your right knee. Make sure that your right knee is directly over top of your right ankle, not any further forward. And then just feel the stillness of this warrior pose for a few breaths. Then drop your hands down, interlace your hands at your tailbone, fold forward into a humble warrior. Your hips should stay square here, so left hip pulling forward, right hip is pressing back. Shoulders releasing. Keep the back of your neck long. And keep breathing. And then release your hands down. Step your right foot back so you come into a high plank, and then lower down, chaturanga, to your upward facing dog, and then your downward facing dog. Left leg floats up, so it's a three-legged dog with your hips open. So your left knee's bent, left hip over top of your right hip. Repeating everything on the left side. So take a big inhale, and then as you exhale, pull forward, draw the left knee towards your left tricep, give it a tap. And then inhale, open up back to your three-legged dog, all the way open. Exhale, left knee towards the center of your chest. Then one more time, inhale, open up, three-legged dog, and then left knee to your right tricep, and set up for star pose. So kick your left foot forward, flatten your right foot, reach the right arm up towards the sky. Keep rotating your chest up high. And keep opening up, filling up as much space as you can here in this star pose. And then carefully make your way to a plank position. Left knee pulls in towards your chest. Set your left foot down, warrior one. So both heels are pressing flat. Right toes at an angle. Square off your hips, then reach your arms high overhead. Good, keep your shoulders pulling away from your ears at the same time. Find one spot in front of you to focus on while you maintain the breath. And then after a few breaths, interlace your hands at your tailbone, squeeze your shoulder blades together, open up your chest, then as you exhale, come into a forward fold with the shoulder release. Good, feel into what's happening in the body right here. And allow the exhales to remove any blocks, any stickiness, any tightness, or any tension. Release your hands down. Set your left foot back to meet your right, high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. And pull forward into a high plank position. Float the right leg up about hip height. This may be enough, or for an added challenge, reach the left arm forward. Thumb up, pinky down. Good, then set the left hand down, coming into a side plank, left hand down, right arm up. You can keep the right leg floating for an added challenge. And then that top arm can stay up towards the sky, it can reach overhead, up to you. Slowly start to pull the elbow knee together. As you inhale, you lengthen, reach them away from one another. Then as you exhale, squeeze elbow and knee together. Working through the core here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze together. Grab the big toe with your peace fingers. Pull the right foot forward. Keep your back heel lifted, coming into a crescent lunge on the right side. So again, your back heel's lifted. Your front foot is flat. Everything facing forward here. And then in this crescent lunge, reach your arms overhead. Interlace your palms. Press the palms into the back of your head and allow the back of your head to fall heavy into your palms, making it almost like a pillow for your head to rest into your hands. Keep your hips tucked under your chest open. Keep breathing. And then reach your arms up and forward, coming into a high plank, to your low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Shift forward to a high plank. Float the left leg up this time, hip height, then reach the right arm overhead. Thumb up, pinky down. Feel the length in your spine, and the more you squeeze your core in tight, the easier it'll be to balance. Set the right hand down, left arm reaches up or overhead, coming into a side plank position. Find your balance here. And then from here, start to pull the elbow to the knee. And then reach the arms, elbow, knee pulling together. And then reach one more time. And then this time, hook the big toe with your peace fingers. Rotate forward, crescent lunge. Back heel lifted, front foot flat. Set it up, then once you're ready, reach your arms overhead, and then interlace the hands behind you and press the back of your head into your palms and feel your elbows wide. Feel your chest opening up. You may need to close your eyes here if you're outside, but feel the energy from the sun and breathe in that energy and fill up with it. And reach your arms overhead. Hands go down. Left foot goes back to meet your right. High plank to low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And then step or hop your feet in between your hands. Inhale, crown of your head pulls forward, flat spine. Exhale, forward fold, release. Sink your hips low and reach your arms high. Utkatasana, or seated chair pose. So think like you're sitting in a chair here. Your hips are back and down. Your inner thighs are squeezing together. And your spine is long, including the lower spine. So keep the lower back flat here. Then go ahead into a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Hands go down. Make your way into a crow pose. So place your hands down. Your knees come onto your triceps. Maybe lift one or both feet off of your mat. Keep your eye gaze forward. And then make your way into chaturanga, into your upward facing dog, into your downward facing dog. Right foot steps through. Take a warrior one on the right side. Good big inhale. Then as you exhale, hands go down, foot goes back. High plank to low plank. Upward facing dog into your downward facing dog. Left foot in between your hands, warrior one left side. So it's one breath here. So the inhale takes you up and the exhale takes you down. High plank to low plank all the way through your exhale. Inhale, lift your heart forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. And lift your heels high. Bend your knees low, stepping or floating your feet in between your hands. Lengthen halfway, forward fold, release. Chair pose. One breath. Inhale, hips go low, arms reach high. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, lengthen halfway. And then another option for crow here, not quite as long this time, so just a few breaths. And on your next exhale, make your way to chaturanga, into your upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Go ahead and do that again. Right foot, warrior one, plant your heels, reach your arms high. Big inhale, breathe in. Exhale, all the way down, high plank to low. Upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Left foot, warrior one. One breath. Inhale takes you high. Exhale takes you low. High plank to low plank. Then glide into upward facing dog. Make your way to downward facing dog. Breathe. Heels go high, knees bend low. Step or float your feet in between your hands. Lengthen to a flat spine. Forward fold, release. Chair pose. Hips go low, arms reach high. Big inhale, and then forward fold, exhale. Inhale, lengthen halfway, and then another shot at crow. So just a few breaths here, palms flatten. And then as you exhale, make your way to chaturanga. Upward facing dog into your downward facing dog. Right foot in between your hands. Warrior one. And as you exhale, lower down, high to low plank. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Left foot in between your hands, warrior one. Inhale, reach your arms high. And then as you exhale, lower down. High plank to low plank. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here in downward facing dog. Keep lengthening through the backs of your legs. Keep pressing your thighs behind you. Keep broadening your shoulders across your back. Keep the back of your neck long. And then start to take your feet in between your hands. Come to a flat spine, halfway lift, forward fold. come back to a chair pose and stay here in this chair pose with your arms reaching long overhead, sides of your waist are long. Then bring your hands together to a prayer position. Twist to the right, so your left elbow hooks outside your right thigh. Try to keep your knees together and in line. Try to keep your hips low. And then breathe here, again, focusing on the exhales for your twists. Keep the palms together. Keep the weight in your right foot and carefully, gently step your left foot back, coming into a twisted crescent lunge. So your back heel's lifted. And now, if you'd like to, you can split your arms. So opening up and getting a little bit deeper into your stretch. Option here to reach your top arm overhead for a different sensation. Then bring your palms back together to heart center. Eye gaze in front of your right toes. Float your left leg up, coming into balancing half moon. So your right fingertips are reaching down, left fingertips are reaching up. Your shoulders and hips are stacked. Both feet are flexed. Start to bend into your standing leg. Land in a warrior two shape with your right arm forward, left arm back. Right knee tracking over top of your right toes. Right hip rotating open. Arms are strong, shoulders are relaxed. Your eye gaze is in one spot in front of you, and see if you can focus on just that one spot as you breathe and hold your warrior two. Now go ahead and reverse your warrior. Left hand down, right arm reaches up. And then come into side angle. So right elbow to your right thigh, left fingertips up towards the sky. Reaching up, energy all the way through your left fingertips. You can stay here or come into a half bind or a full bind. And then either continue to work on this side angle or move into birds of paradise. So left foot comes forward to meet your right. Shift the weight over to your left foot, still keeping your arms and hands hooked if you can. And as you shift the weight over to your left foot, your right leg floats up wherever you can get to. And then you may even be able to straighten your top right leg. This is an advanced pose. If you're in birds of paradise, make your way back into a side angle. And then from side angle, go ahead and make your way to warrior two. Continue to flow with that. Reverse your warrior. Stretch your front leg straight and then reach forward. Come into Trikonasana, triangle pose right side. Try to keep both sides of your waist long. And try to keep everything flat here, so avoid sending your hips back and your shoulders forward. Try to keep your hips and shoulders in the same line. Good, now from here, take your left hand down, square off your hips, and pull your back foot in slightly and twist out the triangle. So that means your left hand is down, right arm is reaching up. Good, make sure you're not scrunching up anywhere, including the jaw, the neck, the chest, the core. Lengthening in every direction. Now set your right hand down. Then go ahead and make your way up to standing. As you make your way up to standing, weight stays in your right foot. Left knee pulls into your chest or grab a hold of the big toes with your right fingertips. Standing twist. So left arm is reaching back behind you, twisting from the base of your spine all the way to the crown of your head. Maybe take the eye gaze towards those left fingertips. And then make your way, rotate so you're facing forward. As you do this, place your left foot on top of your right thigh, making like a number 4 shape for this nested pigeon balance pose. So your left hip is opening up. You're sinking low into the right leg. You can keep the hands in prayer or reach the arms overhead, maybe even hinge forward a little bit deeper at the waist. And as you reach forward, keep sinking your hips back and down. Focusing first on the balancing, second on the hip releasing. And with every breath, you can move a little bit deeper. And then when you're ready, come out of that and into tree pose. So shifting the weight again. Now the weight goes into your left foot and the right foot comes up into into the inner thigh or the calf, or you can keep it connected on the floor and pressing into your ankle. So tree pose, picturing yourself as a tree here, rooted down into the ground. Reach your arms overhead, so think like you're growing branches. And if you are outside, just feel that wind. It can sway you side to side, but you're not going to go anywhere. You have the support, the stability of your standing foot. And then go ahead and release out of that. Arms overhead, forward fold, release. Inhale, lengthen. And then crow pose, just a few breaths again. You can always skip this part. So if you are in crow pose, you can stay or drop your head down and make your way into a headstand. Tripod headstand, meaning there's 3 anchors of support. So the top of your head and your 2 palms. Use the core strength to lift and lower the legs. If you can, make your way back into crow pose. Knees connect to your triceps. And then everybody, wherever you are, go ahead into chaturanga. Upward facing dog into a downward facing dog. Step or float your feet in between your hands, lengthen halfway, forward fold, release. Find your chair pose. Hips go low, arms reach high. So long series here, repeating it again on the left side. The palms of your hands come together to heart center. Twist over to your left. Right elbow hooks outside your left thigh. Palms pressing together at heart center. Deeper twist with every exhale. Squeezing out, rinsing out any trapped energy. And keeping your palms together, shift the weight into your left foot. Step the right foot back, coming into a twisted crescent lunge. Once you find your position with your legs, you can stay with the palms pressing or open up your arms. Option, reach the left arm overhead or keep reaching up. And then bring the palms together to heart center if they're not there yet. Weight shifted into the left foot. Open up into balancing half moon, left side. So right fingertips reaching up. Stack your right shoulder over your left shoulder. Keep both legs strong and active, both feet flexed. And then bend into your left knee. Land in your warrior 2 shape. Strong arms, eye gaze over top of your middle fingers on the left side. Relax your eye gaze. Focus on one spot in front of you. Feel the wind, feel the breeze, and feel where you are. Feel connected to the earth. Go ahead and reverse the warrior. Make your way to side angle. Left elbow down, right arm reaching up. Lots of different options here, so take the option that works for you. You can stay here, you can reach the top arm long overhead, or you can move into a half bind or a full bind. So continue to work on this side angle pose, just exploring. And if you feel like you're ready for it, move into birds of paradise. So pull the right foot forward to meet your left, shift the weight into the right foot, and then once you have your balance, start to lift up with the chest with your left leg. Eventually lowering down, making your way back into a side angle. And carefully, gently coming up, warrior 2, all the way into your reverse warrior. Straighten your front leg, then tilt forward, triangle. From here, right hand comes down, pull the back foot in slightly. And then reach the left fingertips up, so twisting out your triangle here. Just really teaching your body here to move in new ways, new directions, and creating new patterns for the body. And then both hands down, weight into the left foot, make your way up to standing and come into a standing twist. So either the right knee stays bent in towards the chest or you extend the leg straight. Your left hand is connected to your right knee or left fingertips to your big toe. Stretch the right arm back behind you. Maybe take the eye gaze to your right fingertips. And then as you face forward, bend your right knee. Right foot comes on top of your left thigh. Number 4 shape here. Sink into your standing leg. Palms together to heart center. Knee rotates open. Hands can stay pressed together at heart center, or you can reach the arms overhead or forward. With every exhale, you find somewhere new to go. With every exhale, you release something new. Then go ahead and set the right foot down. Shift the weight into the right foot, and your left foot floats up. Left foot to your left inner thigh, or the other options are your calf or your ankle. Palms are pressed together. If you focus on one spot in front of you, it'll make it so much easier to maintain your balance. So in this tree pose, you can stay or you can reach your arms, stretching, growing. And then coming out of that big full body stretch, and then fold forward, trace the midline. Releasing all the way through the top of your head. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. From here, right leg floats up. Same thing we did earlier. So 3-legged open hip, or you can drop the foot and flip your dog. Flip dog, feet are about hip width. Feet are in line. Stretching and opening up the entire front side of your body. Keep pressing your hips up. Keep opening through your chest. And then coming back to a high plank, carefully drop to all fours. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, fill up with breath. As you exhale, round your shoulders. Neutral spine, going back to what we did earlier, right leg kicks back behind you, hip height, left arm reaches long overhead. Now stay here. Feel your core supporting you. Start to take your left arm to the left, right leg to the right. Good, lots of work through your midsection. Stay with it, keep breathing, then take everything back to center. Stay here, or option to catch a hold of your back foot with your left hand. Feel the left shoulder blade plugging into your back. Feel the left foot kicking into your hand. Opening up. Sorry, right foot into your left hand. Yeah, then go ahead and release out of that, stretching, then setting everything down. Tuck your toes, make your way back to a downward facing dog. And then from here, drop to your forearms, coming into dolphin. So everything remains the same except you're pressing into your forearms. You may want to tiptoe your toes a little bit closer towards your elbows to get a little bit deeper of a stretch. Good. You should feel a nice release through the space between your shoulder blades. And then go ahead and press back to a downward facing dog. Left side, left leg floats up, 3-legged dog. Stay in your 3-legged dog, or drop your left foot down and then open up into a flip dog. Good. Both heels pressing down, both hips pressing up. Try not to scrunch up through your neck, through your shoulders. Or a high plank. Drop down to your knees. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, round your shoulders. Neutral spine, left leg kicks back this time. Right arm reaches forward. Lengthen. And then when you're ready, reach the right arm to the right, left leg to the left. Weight stays even between your left hand and right knee. So try not to dump any weight to either side. Then take it back to center, everything long, stay, or bend your back knee, catch a hold of your back foot. Right shoulder plugged in towards your back. Kick the foot into the hand. And then releasing out of that, set everything down, tuck your toes, send your hips up and back. Go ahead back to dolphin pose. So stay here in dolphin pose again, or you can start to make your way into a balance. So balancing on your forearms here, maybe float one foot up at a time, or if you'd like to try kicking both legs up, go ahead for it. Good, so playing around here, doing what you can, and maintaining the breath wherever you are. And then make your way from dolphin's pose into a child's pose, exactly where you started class, but notice the differences you're feeling in your body. That includes your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body. So notice any changes that have taken place, any shifts that have occurred. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit lighter now and feeling like you have a little bit more freedom in your body and in your mind as well. Go ahead and make your way to downward facing dog. Tiptoe your toes so they come in between your hands. Cross your ankles. And go ahead and come into a boat pose. So boat pose, the focus here is through the center of the body, the core area. You're looking for a V shape. If that's not an option for you, then keep your knees bent, or you can also keep your toes connected to the mat. If you're starting to feel a lot of this in your hip flexors, then just take a leg grip behind your thighs. Go ahead and cross your ankles, press into your palms, lift up whatever you can off of the mat, then go ahead right back into that boat pose. Good, try to relax your shoulders and keep your chest open at the same time. Relax the muscles in your face, and then lower down to a hover, and then lift right back up. So low boat, and then squeeze, lift right back up to boat. Lower down to a hover, and then lift right back up. And then lower to a hover, lift right back up, modifying if needed. Lower to a hover, then lift right back up. And then lower to a hover, take your feet together, take your knees apart. Hands behind your head, elbows wide, and just a little bit of abdominal work here. So little tiny crunches here, lifting and lowering. Do about 10 of these. And because we're not doing a lot, make sure that you make every single crunch count. Good, then after you do 10, hold it, isometric hold, lift the shoulders up a little bit higher, then reach the fingertips towards your heels. Go ahead and do 10 more. Good, then after you do that, go ahead and release all the way down. Keep your feet together and knees apart, but relax the upper body. Close your eyes here. Take your arms overhead, keep your elbows wide, or you can take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, connecting your solar plexus with your heart center. And then go ahead and make your way into bridge pose. So your feet step hip width, and then starting at the base of your spine, at your tailbone, send your hips up towards the sky. Shoulders pressing down to the floor. Your chin is tucked slightly. Your eyes can stay closed here, especially if you are outside. So rejuvenating, filling your body up with new energy for whatever you have planned for the rest of your day, rest of your evening, wherever you are in the day. And then go ahead and lower down and go right back into it, bridge, or you can press up into a wheel. So really breathing in to that heart center, into the space between your rib cage, filling up your lungs. And then go ahead and lower down. And then coming into a pigeon, laying down. Right foot comes on top of your left thigh. And then if you want more, you can reach inside and grab hold of your left thigh. That left foot can go up or it can stay bent. Really focus here on doing what you need to do to feel the release through the right hip. So really think about actively pressing the right knee open. Really utilize the breath here. With every exhale, release some of that tightness through your right hip. And enjoy the release. Allow it to happen. And then keep the legs hooked. Just drop your left foot down. Reach the arms out to a T shape. Drop your knees over to the left. Eye gaze to the right for a supine twist. Both shoulder blades are connected to your mat. Then go ahead and come back to center. And just switch it out right here. So now the left foot comes on top of the right thigh. Very similar to what we were doing in that balancing pigeon, but this time we're just laying down. So go ahead and take whatever variation you need to. Maybe it's grabbing the thigh. Maybe it's sending the foot up, the left foot up. Sorry, right foot up. Remember, utilize the breath. Notice where you're feeling any resistance in the body. And see if you can release some of that resistance to this stretch. And then moving into the supine twist. So drop your right foot down, keeping your legs crossed. Knees drop over to the right. Eye gaze over to the left. Arms are out into a T shape. It's really slowing everything down right here. Go ahead, take it back to center. Hug your knees in. And then coming into an inversion. So either just keep the back on the mat and send your feet over top of your hips, or come into shoulder stand. So shoulder stand, your hands support you at your lower rib cage. Try to take the hinge out of the waist. Chin stays tucked, eye gaze stays in one spot. So you're not moving the head around at all. And then you can stay here or start to drop your toes over top of your head into a plow pose. If you're in plow and your toes are connected, feel free to release your hands down to your mat. If your toes are connected behind you to the floor, try to extend your legs a little bit straighter, a little bit longer. And then carefully coming out of that, if you're in plow, bend your knees to your ears, lower down. And then everybody, go ahead and make your way into your Shavasana. Let's go ahead and close your eyes. Rotate the palms up towards the sky. Open to receive. Notice if there's any remaining tension in your body and release it with your next exhale. So really softening. Feel your mat, feel the ground, feel the earth supporting you. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana a little bit longer, go for it. And then when you're ready, give yourself a full body stretch. Roll onto your right side. Then make your way to a seated position, crossing your ankles. And again, stay in this cross-legged seated meditation as long as you need to. Really feel the ground beneath you, the sky above you, and feel the peace within you. Go ahead and bring your palms together to heart center. Take a final bow forward. Namaste.